I think I need to take a few pictures because, like, I look so cute.
Hi.
Hi, Anne. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you, One. I got this in TK Maxx in summer, when we could go shopping.
You're looking great.
Thank you. So are you. Thank you so
Thanks,
much for
thanks,
joining.
thanks.
I went for a walk, right? And then I
Okay.
walked too far from home. And I looked at my Fitbit and it said it was 20 minutes to 4. I had to get an Uber back.
Wow, imagine you didn't get back on time.
I
Well, you could
know.
have still done it from the Uber, so
That is true.
yeah.
I was enjoying being outside. This is the
You
first time
know.
I've really been out, like
Oh,
just
your lockdown is over? Is your
no,
lockdown over?
no, it's not. It's not over. But usually when I go out, it's just the supermarket and back home. But today I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for a walk, and it was such. It's so it's cold, but it's nice. And
Aw.
I lost track of time. I was taking selfies.
Share. You were enjoying.
I was. You can't ask people to take pictures of you anymore. So you just have to take your
Oh,
selfies.
I can imagine. I can imagine. It must really suck. Yeah.
Why are you like this? She said,
Long walk to
we're not,
of freedom. Oh man.
we have to block One from coming to these live events. Like, she's just such a
She said
disruptive.
Mandela. You're Mandela.
Thank you so much for making this time to join
Ah,
us today.
thank you for having
This
me.
is
I
gonna
feel
be
very
so
honored.
lit.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. And I'm looking forward to, telling you all you are going to ask me of
You know
whatever.
what? I'm literally just going to give you the platform to speak. We will ask
Well,
questions. People that have joined will also ask questions, but
right.
like we'll do it similar to how we did with Bash's live last week, where we just
Okay.
give you the opportunity to speak, talk about
Okay.
your organization, why it's important, and
Right. Right. Right.
all of that.
Okay.
So I will do a bit of an introduction. Hi everyone, who has joined us. Go and tell your friends to come and join us. This is going to be a very informative and educative live.
Right.
Roxanne is probably going to show us a few twerking.
Well, that was not in the memo.
Madam,
That wasn't in the memo.
in my wildest dreams, yeah, I twerk better than Beyonce.
Well, I mean, it could happen. Just give me music and I'll turn up.
Oh,
Hey.
I've got my laptop ready to be the DJ. Don't worry.
Okay. Cool. Coolio. Coolio.
This is gonna be fun. Yeah,
Right.
you definitely have to teach us some twerking tricks, especially for people like me with the bad knees. I've got old people knees, so because
Don't worry. Don't
I'm
worry.
old.
Oh no,
So
please.
I've got my knees have caught up with my age.
Hey.
On the which Nash, please.
Ah, she said she's getting her nyash ready.
We have seen her Nash. It's non-existent.
Hey.
It's
We
just
are
not
we are
there.
waiting for you.
It's just not there. Right. So people who have joined and don't know and what she does, she runs an organization that is called Dance for Mental Health. And so she's basically creating awareness on how important mental health and emotional well-being is, and how dancing can improve your general feeling,
Wellness. Yeah,
wellness,
wellness.
yes, and
Yeah.
also how you can own your body, your sexuality, especially in this week where it's all been there about the silhouette challenge and people's judgmental
I'm
crap.
like, I've been waiting to really talk about that. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's very, very important, even now more than ever, for women to understand that it's important to own your body, it's important to own your
Right.
sexuality, and
Yeah.
dancing always lifts your mood. See me, I don't know how to dance. All my friends will attest to this fact. I do not know how to dance, but I look so happy when I'm dancing.
That's it. Basically, that's it. That's it.
I look, even with my old lady niece, I'm just like, yeah. I'm not going to stay like do the dance where people go down and they can still dance. I'll probably fall over, but
Just
I
be
can go
happy.
midway and still be happy. That's
That's
like
all.
Obroni, you know.
That's the basic ingredient. So yeah.
You know, so I'm really, really excited about this conversation. I would just really like for you to talk to us about why you're
Okay.
doing what you're
Okay.
doing, the lessons that
Okay.
you've learned along your journey,
Mm.
how the people that you interact with, the people that you do this, you have this therapy with, how they
Mm.
feel, any feedback, and you know, any advice on how women, especially as African women, we
Yeah.
can, you know, think about our mental health in a different way and look
That's it.
for different ways in which we can make ourselves happy and put our well-being first for the first time ever and just you know just go for it. So
Yeah.
the floor is yours, madam. I'll just
Okay,
my
thank you so much. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Femin Style. I feel so honored to be on this platform. I mean, I've been following you. I see your work. You are doing amazing. And it's such a joy to be here to talk about what I love doing. So basically, my name is Roxanne and short Anne or Rox or Roxy. I'm a mental health advocate and a dance instructor. These are two of the main things that I love to do. But I'm generally a creative. I can do a whole lot of other things, but these are the two main things that I find myself doing most of the time because I myself have encountered my share of, mental health struggle. And I feel that a lot of people are not talking about it, or mental health discussions are not mainstream. And so I feel, okay, I need to loud this, I need to bring this into people's faces to make them talk about this because our mind is our central processing unit. Everything we do, how we feel, how we act, how we react is really coming from here. And so how come it's never part of the conversation? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to loud this till people start talking about it. And so I was doing both separately. So I teach Kizomba dance as well. So I was doing my Kizomba dance and then I was also doing my mental health advocacy. Shout out to Africa's Mental Health Matters. I'm a volunteer for them as well. So somewhere along last year during the lockdown, I mean, the lockdown was quite tough, but it pushed all of us to really, to the edge. And so I started thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm doing dance and I'm a mental health advocate. Dancing is also an outlet or a way of a coping skill that is actually good for the body. So why don't I combine these two together? So I went about the internet and I saw that, okay, there were some other therapists that were also, pushing the agenda for body movement, physical activity for mental health. And I'm like, okay, I'm also going to do dance for mental health. And so that's how Dance for Mental Health came in. So the idea behind this project is someone said Kizomba with love in their eyes. Yeah. So the idea is to teach a dance skill to people, okay, to offer people the value of a dance skill, and then also to use the opportunity to also create or promote awareness on mental health. So as you come, or as you come to my page, or as you come to my class, you be living with something about mental health. So it was like an exchange or a byproduct of another. And then also, I also wanted to use dance as, like I said, a skill for people to cope better. Like you said, you don't really know how to dance, but then one thing that is for sure about dance is you are happy, period. And what are we searching for in this world? To be happy. That's
exactly.
one main thing. To live and to love and to be loved and to be happy. And so when I teach my students and they are happy, they are laughing, they are connecting, they are bonding with one another, they are networking, I'm happy, they are happy. And then they are less stressed, they are less worried, our emotional state is stable. So for me, it's like I'm doing two in one, or one in all, two in all. And so that's it. Basically, I teach Kizomba and then I also create awareness for mental health. Now, one of the reasons why I also chose dance is that even if you don't know how to dance, at least you like music, or at least you like to watch people dance. So it's not about getting you to dance by all means, but also appreciating the feeling you get when you watch something that makes you happy. It's good for the brain. because as I said, the brain is the central processing unit, and there are a lot of chemicals going in and out of the brain. Some that are good for us, some that are damaging. So when we do certain physical activities like dance, running, playing with the pets, or doing all sorts of chemicals are released into the brain that help us heal our anxiety, or that relieves our stresses. And also it's that some of the chemicals also relieve pain. And also, not just that, let's not even talk about the brain, but someone said, can I dance? No, but I can. Okay,
But
I'll
that's
leave the comments
nonetheless.
later. So not just for the brain, but then physically, we have a lot of tension around us. We go to work, or we are sitting long hours, we are in front of the computer, we are bent on the phone. We are one way or the other found in one position for a very long time in our daily life, you know. So dancing also releases these tension, creates more blood flow, and you are more, relaxed, you are more at ease. And the more you are at ease physically, the more the brain or the mind is also at ease, because everything is interconnected. The mind, the body, the spirit, or the soul, So one affect the other. When you practice your mindfulness, it glows, it shows. When you practice your physical exercise, it shows in your way of thinking, it shows in how you react, it shows how you act, and how you relate to other humans. Now, when it comes to women, of course, I'm a female dance instructor, so most of my students are women. And for me, like one of my main passions, or one of my main goals using the dance for mental health, is also to teach women to love themselves wholly, fully. A dance like Kizomba is very sensual, is very into quoted, whatever, provocative, people like to say. And you'll find more women doing it, because it's nicer. We have a part of Kizomba called Jinga. That is the waist movement and the pelvic and the sexy part for women.
I've seen
And
those.
yes, so so we have Jinga, which it allows the woman to express herself. She's not dancing with any man at this point. It's just women. It's called lady styling. It's just women owning their own space and doing their stuff. And it's one of my favorite aspects of Kizomba. And so one of my goals is to use this dance, or to use Kizomba to create, or to let women own their body wholeheartedly. Because of the sensual nature of Kizomba, a lot of women think that it's for a certain body type of women. When they come to my class, oh, I don't have ass, oh, I don't have waist, oh, I don't have this. I'm like, okay, but do you love the music? Do you like the vibe? Do you want to do it? All you need is to want to do it. That's the basic ingredient. Because you see, sexuality or sensuality doesn't come with a body type. That is something that mainstream media has taught us, that okay, to be sexy or to be beautiful, you must come in a certain package. But that's wrong. It's just a label. It's from within. How do you perceive yourself? How do you see yourself? You can be any size and you can still exude sexy energy. So I always tell them that, listen, it's about how you are feeling, owning your body. And women in Ghana especially, there's a very big gap, there's a very big problem with I wouldn't just say Ghana, but this is my reality, so I'm using Ghana.
Of course.
There's a very big problem with the relationship we have with our bodies. The patriarchy has kind of effectively taught us to hate our bodies a lot, and so we can't stand to even watch ourselves in the mirror. I mean, not to even talk of dancing and people are watching. Hey, no, I cannot do that. And so there are all sorts of excuses. Oh, my partner will not allow, or my work, or then my family. And I don't blame all of them. This could be true. I mean, some of the work I used to do suffered because of what I did, because of the dance. I lost a job because of that at a point.
Wow.
Yes, and it's not because I was not capable, or I didn't have the skills, or I was unethical at the office, but it was just because of our moral standards, or our mindset towards how women express their bodies. And it is my prayer that eventually that will change, because we've so much taught women that your body is not yours. Your body is a showroom. Your body is a showcase. Your body is for someone's approval or gaze, the male gaze. And so if a girl is doing something, everybody wants to know, who is she dating?
Yeah.
Which man has allowed her? I wonder what family she's coming from that has allowed her to do what she's doing. So it's always who allowed her. And that kind of language only proves that no, we don't allow ourselves. It's always someone allowing us, because we don't own ourselves. And so you can't really dance in your full splendor and femininity when you don't own yourself. And owning yourself, the first step to owning yourself is owning your body and everything about your body. Everything about your body. And that's the most difficult part. And so, yes, there are some ladies who dance as well, but it's always a performance. It's always who is watching. It's always who like it. It's always who approve. It's never, there are some people who, they are not really dancing, or they are not like technically professional dancers, but then the energy, the vibe around it, let you know that she's actually really happy doing what she's doing. And that's where I'm trying to get people to, that I'm not teaching you to be a kizomba performer or a pro dancer or whatever. I just want you to be happy. Wake up in the morning, look yourself in the mirror, and then just be like, oh, look at me, I can move. Like, I love this music, and just have a party on your own. You understand? And this fight of, the conditioning, how we've conditioned women to see themselves, it's a long fight, but it's one step at a time. And I believe that Dance for Mental Health is headed that direction. And I believe that with more, when we raise more and more women to really see themselves as full human beings. And that's one problem. Because society is not recognizing our full humanity, they've taught us not to recognize it as well. So we don't see that, okay, I'm doing this for me because I want to, because I like it, because it makes me happy. My needs are important as a human being. It's not the needs of my partner, it's not the needs of my parents, it's not the needs of society, but my needs. And the moment you begin to recognize your full humanity and attaining to your own needs, that is when you begin to live your own purpose.
Yeah.
And I know it will, like I said, it will take time, but then I believe and I trust the process that we will get there. If there are any questions, I'm so if you have any questions, please hit me so that yes. And I just want women to be able to yes, I also want to say something. Dancing is a form of expression. And what way it's also for women, I always say that dancing is an expression of freedom. A woman dancing and owning her own body is like an act of resistance or rebellion in this society, because how dare you? Like, who let you do this? You are twerking? Really? Do you want to marry? Like, who is she? Who is she? So it's beautiful, and it's important that we rebel and reclaim our own power, our own bodies, and express freedom, because the oppression and repression of women, it's obvious, it's everywhere. That's why we can't do the things we really want to do unless our husband approves, or unless our partner, our male partners approve. This Nigerian awesome twerker, Jane Mena. Jane Mena, she twerks. She's a Nigerian. And a lot of people come to her page and then they go like, this one to get husband, or she's still doing it because her husband approves. But she was twerking before she got married. People even told her she wouldn't marry. Nobody will marry her. And now she's married. They're like, well, that's why she's still doing, because her husband approves. So can't women just be, dance, be happy? And so the problem is, it's not that they don't want you to not dance, but that the reward of the dance is a threat to them, because that dance makes you happy, it makes you confident, it makes you know your worth, and that is going to bruise the patriarchy, it's going to bruise the system that is going to make them here and you there. I mean, there and you here, whatever. So I feel it's about time. A lot of women are going through so much, and owning their body is the first step towards their healing and just being free. I mean, detached from all standards, all unrealistic standards. Just be happy, love how your breasts look, how your back looks, even if
I am very, very proud of my breasts. They are like award-winning
listen,
breasts.
let me tell you a
Like people
personal
pay
story.
money to get boobs like mine. So yeah, I'm very proud of them.
Ah!
Continue.
Listen, growing up, I didn't really like my breasts. This is a confession. I've never said this because I felt they developed too early. I felt they are too big. And then I received a lot of unsolicited attention growing up. I mean, by 12, 13, I already had like maybe a B cup,
Oh, sorry.
and then, they are looking at me, older men are hitting on me, and that's how you realize the society is really fucked up. I'm like, I'm just 13, I'm just 14, leave me alone. Like, you could be my uncle, you could be my dad or whatever. And so it really made me very anxious, very body conscious, very aware that, okay, I'm too grown for my age, I need to tone down. So I grew up really being conscious to tone down, tone down, tone down. Don't do this too much, because then you're going to attract so much. But why? Why is it that the expression of myself is a threat to me, myself? So it means that you don't recognize my humanity.
Yes.
Same, I wanted to talk on the silhouette challenge. I just kept rolling my eyes, rolling my eyes, rolling my eyes. I'm like, okay, so society is always finding a reason why violence against women's body must be justified, and this is just one of it. So silhouette challenge, just can't women just be sexy? I mean, they're not even showing everything. It's just a silhouette too. Someone says
But
silhouette.
they started
It's just a
removing
fucking
the
silhouette.
background. A friend of mine sent me a couple of videos that he found on his Twitter, and they had
Right.
removed the background of the girls in the video, and that is the worst form of violence against women.
Exposing them.
Yes. Like I can't I didn't want to
That's
share the
crazy.
videos. I think one of the videos was actually a couple and they were having sex, so it was very, very explicit, and I didn't want to be like engaged in distributing porn. But this is some things that people shared in Nigeria on Twitter, right? So I mean,
For the purpose of what? For the purpose of
it's
what?
very simple. They didn't care, and that was the point that I was making on Facebook the other day. These people do not care that the women are doing the dance. They care, or they're doing the challenge. They care about the fact that they can shame these women, because people like that watch porn, right? But
That's
you do
it.
not see them. They will not post pictures of porn stars on social media, because they know that these people that work in the industry do not have shame.
Right.
You can't shame them. But they
And
think
I
that these
feel
women have things to lose. So,
And I think it's all about control. And when we see women twerking, doing busted, doing silhouette, there's this fear of losing grip of that control. So let's shame them. Let's tell people that this is what they are doing. That's why we are raping them. Let's, victim blame. Let's tell everybody to shame them so that and the purpose of shaming and victim blaming is just to keep you down, keep you repressed, keep you quiet. Just don't express yourself. Don't do what makes you feel free as a woman, because you don't own your body. I own your body. So since I have not given you permission, do not do that which you want to really do. And it's a big problem, and it's crazy. In fact, I saw a tweet. It was even a woman who tweeted it. I'm like, sit down, please, girl. Like, she said, oh, we wonder why there are a lot of rape, whatever, and then we are out here doing silhouette challenge. I'm like, really? So of all the problems, of all the causes of rape in this world, silhouette challenge is one. Basset is one. So then what kind of people do we have that they can't control themselves because they've seen silhouette challenge? They've seen Basset challenge. What kind of human being are you? Why are we not talking about those people? Why are we not challenging those people or those men to do better? And all this is also to put fear. It means don't be sexually free. Don't express your sexuality. Don't own your body, because one day your body is going to be for your husband, and you are going to keep your virginity till a man tells you that this is time. Your master, your Lord, I'm here. Open your legs. Let me enter.
And even when you open your legs, don't act like you're enjoying it too much.
Yes. Hey, you have to be, you don't know. You don't have to be freaky. And you see, the other side, this is so like, is it double standards, or what do you call it? It's like, for example, when I started Kids Don't Buy, right, a lot of concerns were raised. oh, don't you want to settle? Oh, no man will want to, because as a woman, all those, the anthem. And but when it doesn't, you see all these people that are telling me this in public, and when you enter my inbox, you see the same line of people telling me other things. So the equation is never matching. I'm like, okay, you are telling me that I should cover up, I should not dance, I shouldn't whine, I shouldn't twerk. But here you are wanting to get into the same pants. But okay, so it means you just don't want me to look free. You don't want me to be free, but you want to be the one to give me my freedom when you please. When it's time, okay, now Roxanne, twerk for only me. Come to my house, come and twerk for me. Oh yeah, after that, go home and go and wear kaba and slit and sit down. Why? So we need to be free. And I feel that, like I said, mental health, I always say is your process of thinking, acting, feeling, and reacting. And men and women need to come to a place a place of awareness of the damage of patriarchy on both of us, that we women have hated ourselves so much that we don't think we have the power to really express our sexuality or our body. And then men also are so damaged. Some of them are damaged that they feel the need to control. The need to control is very toxic. It's not something to be celebrated.
Yeah.
It's not something to hype yourself about. I'm a man, I'm in charge. And yes, you can be a leader, you can have leadership skills and all that. But the moment you feel you are losing control and you are going hysterical, you are going crazy because you don't have control, you need to check your mental health. You need to check there's a problem somewhere that you need to undo. Yes, it may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility to undo it.
100%.
When you see a woman expressing yourself, resist the urge to make it about you. It's not about you, honey. It's not. And the earlier we accept this, the earlier men accept this, the better. Because the women that are coming out now, excuse my French, don't give a fuck.
They do not.
And it's getting more and more frustrating for men. It's about to get worse.
Yeah.
You understand? And gone are the days when I was maybe like 10 years younger, and I imagine myself 10 years later. 10 years later, I imagine myself to have already 2 kids, married, doing wifey things, all the movies and all those nyama things they stole that. But now, a girl doesn't give a fuck. A girl just want to be happy. Like, I just want to be happy. A 32-year-old man was telling me that, hey, you're almost 30 and you're not married. I'm like, but you are 32 and you're not married. But your biological clock. I'm like, you see, that's also another violation to my body. For you to always think that I'm a container, I'm a carrier, I'm a producer of babies. So when you see a woman, you see a womb, you see vagina, you see reproductive something. You don't see a human being. You don't see a soul. You don't see.
They see a clock. That starts from 1 month. And 9 months,
a womb
and you
with
pop out
clocks.
a baby. And I think that it's very, very important that these issues are talked about more. But I really want to you made a point earlier that I wanted to get back on before I forgot. And also I just want to remind people that whilst you're watching and you're listening, please send questions in, and
please.
and they will be answered as and when. So you said at the beginning that when you started this, it was during the start of the pandemic, when we'd gone on lockdown, and I think that is a very important piece to actually touch on again, because I remember when we first went on lockdown in March last year, and I started seeing your TikTok videos. You and Lahadi and Felicity were doing these TikTok videos, and I was like,
videos.
What is this? I want to do it. And I remember having a conversation with Felicity about it. She was like, your Jumia is not on that level.
Another level.
But it's like, I used to watch your videos, right? Almost like every time on Facebook. And I would just be like, it made me so happy. And I was just telling people that, have you seen this? So I think that the time that you started it was so important. Because everyone was miserable. There was so much uncertainty, and lockdown, as we all know, the pandemic in general has affected women across board more than it's affected men. It's increased domestic violence, it's
Domestic
increased
violence, yeah.
sexual violence, it's increased
Yeah.
unpaid care work, it's increased so many inequalities that already existed, but it's kind of like deepened the gap. And then when you think
Right.
about the fact that even you know, most care workers are women, but at the same time most domestic workers are women, so the people that are losing their jobs a lot are women.
Are women. That's
You
true.
know, so I feel that the time that you started this was just like it was
You know,
perfect. Around that, like, since, oh, Rosanna, Rosanna is frozen.
oh, am I back? I hope I'm back. I'm back, right?
Yes, you're back. So
Okay.
my question was, since you
Yeah.
started Dance for Mental Health, let's say it's
Yeah.
coming up to a year since you started it, has there
Yeah,
been
okay. The thought is almost a year, but then the execution is almost 3 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. So that's still not bad. So since, like, how has it been for you and the people that you've sort of like managed to touch, for
Okay.
want of a better word, since the
Right.
time that you started? I mean, from your TikTok videos through to actually making this an organization. How has it been like for you?
Right. So for me, personally, I mean, I also lost my day job during the pandemic, after the lockdown.
Sorry.
So I got laid off. Yeah, it's fine. I got laid off, and you know, the lockdown or the pandemic has been a kind of revolution or wake up call for almost a lot of people, because the lockdown was a time of face yourself. Oh,
Mm.
face yourself. The world is done. Face yourself, oh, my sister. And
Mm-hmm.
people were losing their minds because never for almost all their lifetime have they really have to be by themselves. There's this culture of codependency where it's always me and my family, me and my partner, me and my friends. You're always doing something attached to someone else, and never you standing on your own. And for me, I have been on my own for quite some time, so I'm used to that. But even me, during the pandemic, it had a toll on me. And I'm like, wow, how are other people coping? Because I'm going crazy. And TikTok was my outlet. And I mean, I like to act. I'm dramatic. I'm a comedian. I'm a fool. Like, I'm just silly. And I'm like, I like this app. There are a lot of crazy things here. And in fact, it made me so happy. Like, I could watch myself and I'll laugh. I watch other videos and I laugh. And when I post and when I see the feedback, I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So people also needed this. This is nice. Then eventually turned into, okay, now I don't really have a day job. It's time to really walk in my purpose. It's time to really do what I need to do, what I've been called to do. I like to dance. I like to also advocate for mental health. So, girl, you better put this together and, you know, help people. And by helping people also helps me, because I always, you know, I'm not perfect, and I'm also learning in the process. As I'm teaching, as I'm also, you know, sharing, I'm learning and I'm taking from people. And so far, the journey it's just been like a blow up, because Dance for Mental Health officially came out like October, November. And then I had my first event just last month, December. And I just started my Kizomba workshop last Friday. And so things are just coming back to back, back to back. And I realized that the moment you begin to reclaim yourself and start walking in your purpose, you attract the energy that you need to walk the walk. And so for me, dancing and putting out mental health content is my way of telling people that, hey, I'm human. I'm recognizing my humanity. I'm not perfect. I'm sharing what I know so far. And I'm also learning, hoping to learn from you. And for women especially, the confidence building, the emotional well-being, physical fitness, the mindset change. The mindset change is everything. The moment when you realize that, listen, you act the way you act, you react the way you react, you talk the way you talk because of your mindset, it will change a lot for you.
Yeah.
And you start looking into why did my mindset, or how did my mindset turn to be like this?
Mm-hmm.
How did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start practicing mindfulness. You start doing introspection. You start reflecting. You think a lot. Sometimes I think I have so many conversations with myself. I'm like, okay, today you did this, you did that. Okay, I have gossip time with myself. I have gist time with myself. I laugh at myself a lot. I don't take myself too seriously because, please, nothing is that serious. So, so I just like to make people happy, people laugh, and also myself happy. I don't want to miss out on myself. Because again, we only how crowd. Oh, sorry, those who can speak Chi. But me or how pa. You know, everybody. You know, people. We are all not perfect. Everybody have their own good goofy times and serious times, and I'm all of it. I'm all of it. Sometimes people think I'm all play and jokes, and until I get serious, and then they are uncomfortable. Like, hey, I'm like, yeah, I'm everything. I can twerk, I can dance, I can make people laugh, but then I can be serious.
Yeah.
So I need to be taken seriously. And that is what I want for women. That don't restrict women. Don't tell women that don't dress this way, or don't do your work, or don't dance because you need to appear this way. What happened to duality? We are every bit of everything.
Yeah.
We are every bit of everything.
Yeah.
You can't be one thing throughout. So for me, it makes me so happy that I'll see someone like Felicity. I see her dance, and then she has a business on. She's smashing the patriarchy here. She's giving it to people there, and she's still goofy. So you can't have one image cut all.
Yeah.
That is a lie that has been sold to us.
Yeah.
That good people go here and bad people go here. No, good and bad, or messy and ugly, they are all working hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
So yeah, they're all working together. They're all siblings in the same house. You need to love that house wholeheartedly. You can't love the house because of the good guy only. And so
I think that's where the whole beauty with brains thing comes from, because like people have got this idea that you have to be one way or the other. So when they see the intersection that you are beautiful,
they're confused.
And you're intelligent, they get really confused, and then they feel like you're an outlier. I'm like, I've always been like, whenever people used to say beauty with brains, I'll be like, but hasn't that
so
always
beauty
been
doesn't
the
have to
case?
come with brains.
You know, and even that the pitting women against each other in the sense that, you know, women who may not be as physically attractive would then internalize this hatred for other women who are, and assume that, oh, just because you're pretty, you know, it means that you don't have nothing up there. So I think that is
one thing I preach. One thing I preach is everybody deserves basic human decency. Like for me, that is the basis of my feminism. Like, first of all, do you recognize me as a full human being before you see these breasts, or before you imagine this whatever? Because then that's the only problem, because you think I'm lacking something when it comes to the full circle of humanity. And so then you are giving me some sort of treatment, or you are denying me something. But I have everything. I'm a full human. Maybe the same pain, or the pain that your mother went through when she was shaming you, my mom probably even went through worse. So don't think that you came through a different channel and I came through a different channel. We are all here regardless. We are human beings. I need you to recognize my brain. I need you to recognize my beauty, my intellect, my assertiveness, everything. Stop being taken aback. And then also teaching women about sexuality and expressing themselves physically. They need to be aware that they do it for themselves, because I mentioned something about performative. The male gaze is real, and usually women's sexuality is usually recognized when she's being objectified, or she's being an object of erotical attraction for men. Okay, so if she's maybe a stripper, I love strippers. I respect whatever they do. But if maybe men are benefiting from it, she's maybe twerking in a dance video. She's an accessory. We only give that room for women to be sexual when we are accessorizing them, or when we are objectifying them for male attraction. So it's like she's a decoration. You come here, 6 women, touch my body, be there. You are just object of decoration. But the problem comes in when she's not anybody's decoration. She's her own self, and she's taking space, and she's just dancing and being bold and posting it out there. And then now she's a hoe, she's a slut, she's not going to marry, she's a problem. And so women need to be aware that the moment you start claiming your body, claiming your power, expressing your sexuality through your movement, people are always going to come at you. Okay, don't do this because you don't need to do it. But these same people also come and do it for me in my house. I want to see you. You are so sexy. But then they'll still go ahead and condemn you.
Yeah.
So beware. And what will keep you stable is knowing that you are doing it for you. Knowing that you are doing it for you, and it makes you happy. The first thing we said, the basis of it is the happiness, how it makes you feel. Because what makes you happy is whatever activity you are doing is secreting chemicals to your brain.
Yeah.
Serotonin, endorphins, dopamine, oxytocin. So these things are what is actually making you feel good, feel relief, feel at ease. And those are like what you should look out for. Does this thing make me happy? Yes. If so, I'm going to do it regardless.
Yeah.
Always do it because it makes you happy. And that is your way to freedom. Embracing every part of you, every part of your body. You wake up in the mirror, look yourself in the mirror, look at your body. And now, I mean, I've grown to really accept my body, to love how it looks in every way. And that's it. I entreat other women to do same. It's not easy, but it takes practice. It takes practice, and then reprogramming of your mindset that you belong here. You're a full human being. You are beautiful regardless. You can be beautiful. You can be brainy. You can twerk today and go wear a suit tomorrow. You can be all around, and hey, you can still be beautiful. Are there any questions? I don't know.
Yeah, Marianne says, can we have some twerking tutorials for no apparent reason? She added, please.
Listen.
So and remember, I said this at the beginning of the live that you have to give us some twerking lessons. But you know, whilst you're thinking about that,
okay. While I'm thinking about that,
whilst you're thinking about that, I'm going to read some comments, and I will just add a couple of comments as well. So, Amofua Ghana says, society loses its mind when you step out of male objectification, and that is so true. That is so true. And as soon as society realizes that, you know, this woman
you're
is
not
taking
doing it
her
for
power, you know, they get really, really threatened.
Yeah.
And that is why they want to shame women into being submissive. Like, you know, there is nothing moral there's nothing about morals being affected that is making these men lose their shit over women doing that silhouette challenge, for instance.
It's just control.
Right? Or, I mean, look at what, was it 2 years ago when we had the Coupe Boys craze? Like, you know, these boys were like shirtless, like you could see the outline of
and that was cool.
In their shorts.
And that was cool.
And and so it's not really about morality. It's about control. It's about men feeling that they should be the only ones who have access to women's bodies, but in private. So how dare you, as a woman, express that you're sexual, that you know you feel sexy. Like, I look at myself in the mirror in the morning and I think that, oh my God, I'm so sexy. And so I go and do this video, and then a man will come and say something like, oh, if you're,
this is why they rape you.
I've seen is, oh, if fathers spoke to their children and loved spoke to their daughters and loved their daughters, then they wouldn't be doing these videos. I was like, are you mad?
And these same men who are mad that women are owning their bodies and dancing or being sexy out there will be the same people who want you to be a whore in the bedroom for them. So what is the point here? Choose one side. You are confusing me. It just doesn't make sense. It's just the fear of losing that grip of control she's finally doing something on her own. Oh, then what becomes of me? I'm the leader. I'm the head. I'm the man. I must be in control. And that thing is damaging to yourself as a man and to your partner too, because you can't really control anything in this world aside of yourself. And the moment you begin to feel you own someone's body or someone, then you need to check yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the women that are coming up, we don't give a shit. And
like, women are not the women are not the gatekeepers of morality, and we shouldn't have to take this burden of making sure that the world is moral.
And also dehumanizing or demonizing the word sexuality or sexy. What is wrong with being sexy? What is wrong with being sex? Sexuality or being sexy doesn't mean have sex.
Yeah.
You know, there is a feeling of it, and then there's also the action. We need to make the distinction. If dancing makes me feel sexy, feeling sexy is a good thing, actually. Yeah. It's good for my esteem. It's good for my confidence as a woman. So why can't I feel sexy and not want to have sex?
Because a woman that feels sexy is going to be the type of woman that knows that she has options. So she's not going to come for some idiot.
And that's a threat. And that's a threat.
Yes.
Chimamanda said, a man who will be intimidated by me is obviously the man I don't want to have anything to do with. So for me, this is my filter. You know, of course, it's something I work, but then it's also a filter for me because it's easier, the kind of men that come my way. Because first of all, I'll catch you real quick if you come to me with the bullshit of, you know, what do you think? So if you start dating and your man has a problem with the dance, then I know that you are that man, and we can't have that conversation here. And also, one thing I would like to tell women, or I would like to remind us, is that we need to make peace with the fact that as rebels or as game changers or narrative changers, we need to make peace with the fact that we may not end up with we may not end up, I don't know the word, we may not end up conventionally in unions like everybody else.
Yeah.
It may be late, it may never come, or whatever. That is the mindset I work with. I realize that you can't be changing the narrative, owning your body, because you are doing everything opposite what society wants you to do. And if you are doing something against the law or the standard, you'll be kicked out. You'll be punished. So I need you to make peace with that punishment. I need you to make peace with that exile. You'll be outside. You will be outcasted. And you need to own that. Because you see, when you are trying to, it's very hard, it's very difficult. Sometimes it's very lonely as well, because we are human beings. We wish you could finally get someone who gets you, someone who understands you and accepts you for everything. But don't settle. Don't settle, because the moment you settle, you've taken 10 steps backwards. You've taken 10 steps, and everything you work for is gone down the drain. You need to stick to your standard of making yourself happy, not a performative standard, not a standard to fit in somewhere in a group, but a standard that is befitting to yourself, that what works for you as a human being, don't compromise. And you may never find the person who will match that, or you may find him or her later. Either ways, each step of the journey, make sure you are happy. That's what matters to me. When someone says, hey, Rox, you're almost 30 and you're not married, you don't have kids, I'm like, you missed one question. Am I happy? Hell yeah. And that should be the first question when you are asking a woman whom you think her clock is ticking. Do you actually care about my happiness, or you care about me fitting a script or a role? Because then you don't care about my happiness and you are violating me. You are being violent towards me to think that, why have you not given birth? Why are you not married? But then you've not asked me the main thing that is very essential to my survival. That is my happiness. Am I happy? Yes. Question closed. Don't ask me anything again, because really, if you truly care about me, you care about my happiness before marriage or kids. And I'm not a reproductive container to have kids.
Of course. I mean, at the end of the day, in a very patriarchal capitalist world that we live in, your happiness must be tied to a husband and a ring and children. Otherwise, people do not see your individuality or your personal happiness as something for them to celebrate. That is why, you know, you can post 2 pictures of you side by side, one of you in a wedding dress and one of you with your degree, and you're probably going to get more likes on your wedding dress than you would on your degree. We have a question from One. She's saying, what advice would you have for your younger self, like your 17-year-old self?
My 17-year-old self.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What I'll tell her right now is, you are not doing too much. You are good. You are fine just the way you are. Because I grew up with a lot of anxiety of being conscious of toning down, because my dad was quite liberal. Like, my dad was he allowed me to just be, and then he died early. He died quite early, and then I had to live with my mom. And my mom was kind of, you know, the conservative type, like, oh, don't do this too much. We are bow ya kola, we are paying same. So I was constantly being told to keep quiet, to tone down. And maybe the song is, I used to love music and dance. I mean, obviously. So every song on the radio, I could sing it. Even when I didn't even understand the message, I could sing it. I just wanted to dance. And then my mom would always tell me, yeah, we and kawaii, mas and kasano. You know, so I was always consciously thinking that I'm doing too much. It's going to blow up. I'm too much. People can't handle me. I'm too much fire. I'm too feisty. I need to be careful. So I was always watching over my shoulder. So what I'll tell my younger self is that you were perfect. You were okay the way you are. In fact, you were amazing. I think I was amazing. Yeah. And every 17-year-old, every teenager out there, you are doing the best, because as we are here now, we think, listen, when I was 17 and I think of maybe 10 years after, I had all sort of ideas, but here I am. I feel the same. I recognize that I'm the same person. It's just that maybe my body has changed, but I'm still that same goofy, you know, funny person. You know, I've evolved, but I'm still the same person. So nothing really changes. Adulthood is a scam. Adulthood is a scam. You are still the same. And whatever you do, just don't lose touch of your inner child.
Yeah.
That thing that can make you play, that thing that can make you be silly, that thing that can take things so lightly and not be too serious. Of course, you have to be serious, but then be grounded, come to the floor, down to earth. Nothing really is that serious. And when you grow and you are 40, you are 50, you still would want to you still feel like you want to be a child again. And so what? Listen, I'm still going to twerk at 40. I'm going to twerk at 50. I'm going to twerk at, girl, I'm going to twerk in 100.
Madam, please get up and start twerking. We've been talking.
But you see, let me make a distinction. Let me make a distinction. I don't teach twerk. I teach kizomba. But I love to twerk. Give me a song, yeah. Let me put the devil to shame.
People are waiting for the kizomba.
Let me put the devil to shame.
Should I play music? What music should I play? Let me go on YouTube.
Hey,
God. DJ.
Hey, Jesus. Because, okay, guys, you request. I don't know. You request. Hey, Nigel, I see you. Hi. How are you?
Logic and Whimsy is saying any man who is intimidated by your full self, it's definitely not the kind of partner you want to be with. Oh, have you started? Sorry.
You are late, oh, madam. You are late.
Should I play African Girl for you by Shatawale and what's his face? Kwesiata. Is it Kwesiata?
What's the latest song? What is trending?
I don't know.
I should know, but like I'm caught off guard, so I don't know. Hey. Charlie, play anything for me. Okay.
Marianne says she's hyped up in the care home gang. Hey.
Hyped up in the care home gang. What does that mean?
I think she's at work, and so the people that she's working with are all hyped up, waiting to see this video.
You people are giving pressure. Okay, guys, just request a song for me. Any song.
Okay, so the only song I can think of that would probably is that African Girl with Kwesiata and Chatawale. So I'm going to play it.
African Girls. Hey! Hey!
Wait, let me just get rid of the ad.
Let me fix my thing. Hey!
Can you hear the music? Energy, energy.
I'm gonna be right there with you, man.
Look who's coming in, straight from the dungeon. I fear for such clothes, your mom struggling. Behind your permanent, don't pay me paper. If I give you some money,
Someone said, nah, girl, I've been 80 years old in the care home. Oh,
don't get involved in what you're spinning with diamonds. I never play on and get that wrong perception of me. So they might say things that we go 24.
you need to always dance and enjoy the music because it's good for your physical health. It's good for your mind. It's good for emotions. Forget Obiao. Forget everybody. Forget. This is Bobrisky. I'm hitting you with the Bobrisky. Oh shit!
Hey.
Oh god! No more chair dancing. I'm actually on the floor though. Yeah. But I would, start online sessions as well. So eventually, if you are here, you can follow my page, Dance for Mental Health, and when I get online, we can have some dance sessions and have all the dance tutorial you want.
When I'm in Ghana, the first thing I'm doing is like, please, can you teach me how to dance? Because my
please, I will. I will. I definitely will.
My dancing is like my TikTok video skills. It's non-existent.
Oh.
Marianne said she meant 80-year-old in the care home and they're still twerking. So you literally like made 80-year-old women very, very happy today. Well done. Thank you. Honestly,
that's it. Age is just a mindset. And you see, one thing also, age has been used to shame women a lot. We feel that women have an expiring date.
Yeah.
And so the older you get, keep quiet. So it's like there's never a middle ground. When you are young, you are too young. Don't do it. Shut up. You are too young. You are provoking men or whatever. And then when you're of age, when are you going to marry? Your clock is ticking. And then when you're old, you are too old for this. So when can we finally be?
Yeah.
I say anytime, any day, any year. Forget it. You can be 40 and still find your groove now. You can be 50, 30, 20s, whatever. Just be happy. They hate that. And the beginning or the prioritizing of our happiness is the beginning of the revolution we are seeking as women. So
100%. Yeah. I completely agree with you. Marianne is saying, why do I feel in my spirit that I'm doing all these moves, yet my waist is still stiff out here? Marianne, you're my spirit animal in this. Like,
you're putting too much pressure on your hips.
Sometimes you feel like you're twerking far. You know what? Like, whenever I do like a weight session, I have 2 songs that I listen to after my weight sessions. Did It On Them by Nicki Minaj and Beyonce's Get Me Bodied. So whenever I listen to Get Me Bodied, I try to do all these twerking dances. I'm like doing it in front of my mirror in my bedroom, and I'm like,
in your mind, you are killing it.
I can see myself in my mind. I'm like Beyonce level dancer.
That's it. That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit. But you see, that's it. Like for me, I was never really like, I just love to dance. I was not like, I wouldn't say I was born a dancer and I used to have dance. No. I knew was I love music and I love to dance. And I hated to see myself dance because I felt I was crap. I was the worst. But with practice and, embracing that ugly side of it, that is actually where you learn to
But
love it, and
my,
you
my
do.
niece, my niece, no, the physical barrier. Why? That one is not in my
Oh,
mind. That,
Mega needs is the goal. Mega needs. We all need mega need,
my
girl.
niece, I think every time I see, you know, those African videos that you've been seeing of these girls, like they start doing this dance, like, and I just watch them in these heels. I just watch them. I'm like, you know what? Just give me your knees. What you're doing, I
It's
can do.
practice. You know, it's
What is dance
practice.
that I can't do if it wasn't for knees? Eh?
You can do it. You can do it with practice. I mean, I believe it. I believe it. I'm trying to give you encouragement here. Yo,
Oh,
I'm trying to motivate
I'm
you.
absorbing all of this. Please watch out for my twerking video. It will drop at some point, in the
I can't
next,
wait.
before the end of 2021. But yeah, I think
Amen.
for me, I don't lack confidence in dancing because, as they
Mhm.
say, there's a Ghanaian saying, "Asaboni nkuma asase."
That's
Those of
right.
you who are not Ghanaian, it means like dancing badly does not destroy the earth. Like, so,
Mm,
like, I have posted a video of myself dancing
just
really badly at
dance.
the Badi Beach once. Like, I was just happy. I was just
Just
happy.
dance.
So,
There was this quick one. I posted, so I just love to twerk. I recently just learned the skills, the basic skills of twerking.
Mhm.
That was, I think I posted it about 3, 4 months ago. And so then I posted a video on my story of my twerk instructor and myself.
Mhm.
And then I had people in my comments say, "Oh, she's better than you. She's better than you." And I'm like, of course she's better than me. She's my instructor. Oh, this one, dear, somebody has beat you to it. I'm like, okay, you see the problem. When you see two girls doing something and they are happy, you must always think there's a competition.
Mhm.
This is actually my instructor. And what you see me do is my first work dance video. So I think I've done pretty well. I think I've done amazing. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to offend." I'm like, "No, but I'm just
They did
correcting you
mean
that
to
you
offend
take,
you, though. They did mean to
you
offend.
know,
They just
take that
didn't want you.
mindset
They
off."
just didn't think that you would be offended because, and that's the thing. When people offend you and then they act surprised that they like. Because someone can not want him say because there's a man.
Well, himself who offended me. I feel who apologize. I didn't say you offended me. But you see, that's girls should be careful of people who poke at them when they see them doing things with other girls. They'll compare you, they'll put you two together and say, "Oh, she's better than you. Hey, someone has beat you. You think you can dance." Don't let that kill your spirit. You need to deflate, you need to call them out and tell them, this is my I think I look pretty. I think I look great. I think I'm doing great, but thanks for your comment or whatever, fuck off or whatever. But you need to let them know that
Yeah.
because I'm aware of the video and I posted it anyways. So I wasn't posting it for your gaze or your performance. You see, that's the thing. We are used to the male gaze that, oh, we are performing for their validation. Or if a guy say, "Wow, that's sexy," then now you believe that the video was
Yeah.
sexy. But then if he says, "Oh, this one, if you didn't do well, then I'm supposed to feel bad." Boy, no, I posted it for myself. And if you don't like that one, I'm sorry. So that's it.
Roxanne, this has been a fantastic hour spent. I am so happy that we had this conversation. I have learned a few things. That dancing was, but I have learned a few things about mental health, about taking ownership of my body, of my well-being and wellness and all of that. So I think that this has been fantastic. I hope that the people that joined in have also learned a lesson though too. I hope that, you can, when you're practicing your twerking in the mirror like I'm doing now, you remember
Hey,
that.
sitting down.
Oh yes, yeah, no, I'm off my chair and I'm like, hey.
Chair dancers.
But this has been great. This has been fantastic.
Yeah, this
Thank you
has been
so
awesome.
much.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you for
please
having
follow
me.
Roxanne's page. It's called Dance for Mental Health. She
Yes,
does
dance_mental health. Yeah.
she does workshops. If you live in Ghana, she does workshops. Maybe you can think about offering online workshops for people that
Yeah,
may
I was
not
saying that. Yeah.
reside in Ghana. And
Yeah.
remember, own your body, own your sexuality. Your mental health is the most important thing. Fuck the patriarchy. In fact, when you live your every day, when you wake up, decide that today I am going to be deliberate about living my life opposite to what the
Thank you.
patriarchy wants. Do that every day for 1 week and you will see the change in your life. So
And
thank
I'd like
you.
to also end. Our time is over. I just wanted to say something
Sure, go
before
on.
I go. So before I go, just like what she said, reminder that for women especially, because of the oppression and the repression we've gone through, it has really affected our mental health. And what way to rebel or to reclaim our power by really expressing the freedom of moving our body, the freedom of expressing our sexuality, the freedom of just being and accepting our full humanity. And yeah, love yourselves wholeheartedly and seek your happiness.
We should do this again, definitely, because I have had
Yes,
so
looking
much fun,
forward.
and I'm sure everyone
Looking
else has
forward.
as well. So
Yeah.
have a nice rest of your Sunday. Unfortunately,
You
I have to go and
too.
study now, but
Oh,
it's
school
all
for
good.
yeah, to school go. Yeah, school Nisa.
Oh, Charlie.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Mwah,
African girl.